Hey guys, this is Intuitive Anthony doing another YouTube video. Today is my day off, and I'm going to be filming all day long, pretty much. So this first story, I've been thinking about this for some time, and I've been wanting to do it, and it just kind of, I don't know, kind of took a backseat for a while. But now I figured like now it's time. Okay, they released Bill Cosby from prison. So that's the story we're going to be talking about today. Hey guys, this is Intuitive Anthony doing another YouTube video. This story is on Bill Cosby, guys. They just recently released him from jail. Now, you remember in the beginning, they made such a huge deal about these charges, and they were hell-bent. It was a modern-day black man lynching once again to try to get him in jail. And they were doing everything in their power to put this man in jail at 83 years old, which is disgusting in and of itself. If this man is supposedly doing sexual assaults for 30 some odd years, you would have think it would have came out long before this, before these supposedly suppressed thoughts or whatever. Okay, so this just happened. They released Bill Cosby from jail, very hush-hush, even though they were so adamant and there was so much TV coverage to put him in jail, which makes me smell a rat, which was the same thing they did with Michael Jackson. They wanted to crucify him, as our Israelite people have been done to in the past, or lynching, however you want to call it. It's the same thing. Crucifixion, lynching, same thing throughout history. There's nothing new under the sun. Anyway, Bill Cosby. This is the point of the story. But guys, before we get into this, make sure you hit the subscribe button, guys. Hit that notification bell and hit the thumbs up on the video so that YouTube will recognize that it's actually a good video. Okay, now that all that's out the way, I'm going into the Bill Cosby story. So guys, just bear with me because I'm going to have to lean into this a little bit and kind of draw some narratives for you. Okay. When Bill Cosby left jail just recently for they overturned his conviction, he said it's all a setup. The whole jury thing is a show, which I believe it is. Because basically Bill Cosby wanted to buy NBC records, and no, what they said was, no nigga, you getting too big for your britches. Now, mind you, the black community has been painfully silent about Bill Cosby. This is why. When he was living high on the hog with the Cosby Show, and right after he bought the Little Rascals collection and vaulted it forever because of the racist stereotype of buckwheat, which I do get, he got a little high and mighty and started making some off-colored comments about the black community. And we never forgot that. Because I remember during that time, everybody was a little ticked off about that. You know what I mean? Like you gonna try to look down your nose at somebody? Oh, don't forget, that's exactly where you came from, nigga. Don't go too far left, because you won't be able to come back. Because that's exactly what's happening with Ice Cube right now, or will be happening more and more frequently. But that's another video. I'll probably get to that one today too. Like I said, I'm gonna be filming all day. But Bill Cosby said this: the whole thing is a setup, the whole jury thing, which I tend to agree. I mean, because most of them is those Jewish Gloria Allreds and Nancy Graces, where they find a problem even if they don't want to find one because they're the enemy of all mankind. It's nothing new under the sun. That's who Judas was to our Israelite, Hebrew Israelite, they call Jesus, which is really Yahweh Shah. But those Jewish people sent stealth agents in, which is in turn who Judas was. Look at the love of money and look at Jewish people, and you tell me who's who. And what was the black man done? Hung on a tree like a lynching. Now you see the parallels I'm drawing. Anyway, back to it. Bill Cosby said that while he was in jail, he referred to his cell as my penthouse, because he was an overwhelming large number of black men in jail, and we all know this. But he would still seem to be more privileged than everybody there. So I'm pretty sure he wasn't going to have a rough way to go. And he was kind of like a national treasure. So I'm pretty sure a lot of those people a lot of those fellas in there weren't gonna let nothing happen to Bill Cosby. And then the whole case stinks to high heaven. But they wanted to take enough money through the lawyers and through the legal system so that he will never try to overstep his bounds and buy a network again. Because like Michael, when you start going after those strongholds, those big conglomerates, oh, that's when the wolves come out. That's when the wolves come out and you see their true nature. They can want to hip hop and bebop and everything else with black people, but when it comes down to it, they really don't care about us. Okay. His sex conviction was overturned. So you mean to tell me you went through all of these years and kind of found all these lying bitches to come up there and say that he molested them when they were 17 weeks old or some dumb shit like, oh, he molested me 30 years ago and I'm just remembering and I'm so traumatized. And people want to sit there and say these people will not lie. People do lie. They make up shit all the time. And when you're dealing with Hollywood, you're dealing with a den of thieves. They all robbing Peter to pay Paul just to fatten their pockets. The love of money is the root of all evil. It hasn't changed since the beginning of time, and it ain't changing now. Okay, the prosecutor was bound by his predecessor's agreement not to charge Cosby. Now see, this in lies the wickedness of what's going on. The previous prosecutor, who was so adamant about getting this old man in jail, as disgusting as it was, had a contingency that when he left office, the next prosecutor would not charge Cosby because he knew the whole charge was bullshit. So basically, they wanted to tie him up in the legal system, get him to pay for attorneys, courts, and all of this just to bleed some of that money out of his account so that he will never get big and try to buy a major network again. And they use the legal system because what do they say? The ambulance chasing Jew lawyers? See, by getting into the legal system, they can infiltrate every aspect of society. And that's what they've always done, which is partly why Hitler wanted to stop them. They infiltrate, they disseminate, and they cause problems, chaos, and they're vultures. They're vultures. They pick off the carcass of anybody they can get their teeth into. Okay, but I'm talking about that as a whole, not like each individual person. As a whole, as a group. You kind of like, what was it, American Dad? Where he's like, Snot, you're Jewish. I want you in charge of the money. Steve, your job is to watch Snot because I don't trust Jews. But I think you should have that healthy attention to any group, no matter what color, race. But I know it's more prominent and more specific with the Jewish counterparts that I've seen and the situations and everything that has been going on. If you look behind any of those major artists, those major rap artists, R&B artists and all that, what do they have back there? Jews that are trying to pick them clean because they have no particular talent to speak of themselves. They ain't playing sports. They ain't doing music. What they're doing is they're feeding off of talented people. It's the same concept. Oh, I'm going to make you a big star. No, your talent is going to make you a big star. They're going to be there to micromanage and see if they can siphon as much as they can out. As a whole, guys, I don't want that to come out as a, one thing fits everybody because each individual is different. But you got to come into the game prepared to see what you're dealing with. Okay, so this prosecutor did all of this to try this man. Just to hurt his pockets, just to dip into them pockets. But he left a notice that whoever took over after him had to promise not to charge Bill Cosby. Now that seems oddly specific and that seems like more of a backhand deal, wouldn't it? It was so public for you trying to arrest this man, but secretly you demanded that he be released. So what was the point? To tie him up in a legal battle, try to give the man a heart attack, stress the man out at 83 years old. There is no honor among motherfucking thieves. There really isn't. Cosby, 83, flashed the V symbol for victory when he left the courthouse. You know who else did that? Michael Jackson. V for victory. Because if you look at the elements of the case, the charges may be different, but the setup is still the same. Michael Jackson owned the Sony ATV catalog. The Jewish people needed that. Bill Cosby tried to buy the network after he bought the Little Rascals. Oh, we gotta send out a message. We gotta make him a public spectacle. We need to crucify him. Sound familiar? I mean, the lines are really not hard to follow, but it's up to the person who wants to see what's going on. If you want to stick your head in the ground and pretend like it doesn't exist, you better find out before your time's out. Because as you can see, the volatile climate of the world is increasingly getting more and more tumultuous as we go on. And this plausible deniability where I didn't know, yeah, you did. Everybody knows. I mean, everybody's basically split up, no matter what color they are, into two categories. You have people that you understand, and you have people that you don't. And anybody who continues to muddy the water between the two, the only person they're hurting is themselves. But, you know, hey, to each their own. I know they just can't come to my door with some weak shit. I'm not having it. That's just not the way I'm going to go. But I found that kind of funny, that he did the V symbol as when he was leaving in a helicopter after getting out of jail. The victory symbol, which is the same thing Jackson did. Because it's the same people going after my people. It's the same people. And it's always been that way. Them slave ships were purchased by Jewish people. They sold us into slavery so that they can go into our land and pretend to be us. Those are my dogs in the background, being very, very busy. Yeah, you probably see somebody walking down the street. It said justice and fair play tendency. Amber Tamberlin, some actress, was furious to hear the news that Bill Cosby got out. Now, mind you, I'm going to go online and find pictures of this attention-grabbing slut, because I'm pretty sure that's exactly what we're dealing with. She's an actress. Her biggest role yet was accusing Bill Cosby. And I tell you what, I bet this bitch ain't no more true than a man on the moon. And I'm pretty sure the pictures was, if a picture could speak 1,000 words, trust me, I have never seen this woman before. But the whole thing stinks to high heaven, and I guarantee you, when I put images of this woman in this picture, you're gonna understand what I'm talking about too. Because Tamberlin, I want to look at that last name. There's a lot in the last name, and you know where I'm going. But yeah, they're saying that Bill Cosby's supposed to also be doing a comeback. He's gonna be doing like arena tours, and you know it's gonna incite so much controversy. But he wants to go on tour, from what I understand, to explain what just transpired in the media, which is basically a modern day lynching. They were going after him for getting too big for his britches and stepping outside of his lane, so to speak. They want us to be minions. They don't want us to come up. That illusion of opportunity, apparently he hit the glass ceiling and it didn't go over so well. But y'all, this is about Bill Cosby being released from jail. It's Bill Cosby celebrity stories in the press, which is going to be kind of like a subcategory on this channel, because I do notice that the stories that really don't have a time frame, like a hot news story which goes cold after a while, these stories about certain celebrities people will always be interested in, because you know they stand true to the test of time. I mean, you can't unchange what somebody's been through. You know what I mean? You can't go back and redo it. So it's going to be just as relevant now as it was then. But guys, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and hit the thumbs up on the video, guys. This has been Intuitive Anthony. Like I said, I'll be filming all day, and I'll be back with more stories. But this was about Bill Cosby being secretly released from prison and the media blackout because they knew that there was nothing there to start with. If you have a comment, guys, put it in the comment section below. I'll be back with more content, and until I talk to you again, guys, peace.